back for another Zabal Games. Here today with Danny from Unlock Protocol. How are we doing today, Danny?
Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, it's amazing to have you. We had CC on at the very end of our workshops for the Zabal Games, our 3 month long build-a-thon. We are in now the beginning of month three, starting to come into the finals, and Unlock is an amazing tool that I'm going to start leveraging each day such that everyone that comes in and participates can play around with Unlock. And we're here today to
Mhm.
chat with Danny about some of the other use cases that are out there, some of the things that we can do as an artist, a builder, or creator, and come in and kind of participate in being part of the protocol. So, welcome, Danny. Do you want to give us a little bit of a background on yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. My name is Danny Toms, and I'm a builder. I kind of like started out my journey digging out in the weeds with the Build Guild. If you ever heard of the Build Guild, it's like a community of builders, and it's founded by Austin Griffith. And we kind of do the whole speed run Ethereum thing, which kind of gets builders building on Ethereum, getting your hands dirty on some of the core concepts that like you need to understand as a blockchain developer. So that's pretty much how my foundation building in the space started. It before Build Guild, I used to be with Gitcoin DAO, pretty much in 2021 when Gitcoin became a DAO. Before then, we used to like do tasks on the Gitcoin website, and so eventually Gitcoin became a DAO, and so I joined one of the work streams in the DAO. It used to be called the Moonshot Collective, and Kevin Owaki used to be like the leader of the group, and we would like do different things, trying to prototype different ideas and stuff like that. But eventually, it was sunset, and so during that time, we used to have calls with the Build Guild, and so folks from the Build Guild would come together and folks from like Moonshot, and then we would just go around playing with the ideas and the prototypes we were building. And so when the Moonshot got sunset, I kind of transitioned into the Build Guild, and that's kind of like how I eventually got to find out about Unlock, because we were building a lot of things in the Build Guild, and one of the builders in the Build Guild happened to know the founder of Unlock. And it turns out they needed an integration with the tool that was used at Build Guild called Scaffold ETH. Right now the current version is Scaffold ETH 2, which is a really really cool software, to like a cool stack or framework to build applications on Ethereum. So the Unlock protocol team needed an integration with the Scaffold ETH at the time. And so they reached out to me to work on it because it had kind of been open for a while. And so I jumped in and I had to go look up what the Unlock protocol was. And as I started to find out more, it was like mind blowing the amount of things that you could do with it. And that's how I ended up staying after like working on that bounty and fixing up the integration with Unlock and Scaffold ETH. I pretty much stayed because the tech was really really amazing. So yeah, that's kind of like
That's such a cool story. I love hearing people's kind of like how they got to where they are, because we're all kind of in the regen space, especially. We're all like at a specific ethos, but got there. Like everyone comes there in a different way. So it's really
mhm,
cool to hear that. I love hearing those things. I went to ETH Boulder earlier this year and got a real good opportunity to get some of that experience. I met both Kevin Owaki and Austin Griffith through that.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
which was really cool. I got a chance actually through Artisan and Incented to be part of a artist residency there. So I won the bounty on Incented actually, which I know Unlock is doing
Hmm.
a current campaign with, which is really cool.
Hmm.
My favorite thing in the space is finding tools and places where we can go as creatives. And I lead a group of creatives, and my goal is to give them opportunities to use the technology that are permissionless and are
Mhm.
protocolized. And that's one of the reasons why I've been really interested in diving more and more into Unlock Protocol and some of these other tools that let you just jump in and use it without any permissioned layer, right? And I
Mhm.
think that's one of the cool things about the on-chain technology that's out there. So I'd love
Yeah.
for you to dive in a little bit about do you want to give so where in Unlock you started with the scaffold.eth
Mhm.
integration. What have you done from then to now as the technology and innovation steward? When did you become was that at that time, or was that a specific role that you were voted into? I believe, if I understand that, do you
Mhm.
want to explain a little bit of how Unlock works in that sense?
Yeah, wow, that's a loaded question. It's like so much history. I have to dig back in my mind to like get all of this information out. So it's not like everything is just sitting there because I've been with Unlock since like 2022. That's when I got
Mhm.
in. So the integration with Scaffold E thing I'm talking about was way back in 2022. So it's like 4 years now of like
Yeah.
history. So I gotta like dig back in a little. So, but the thing, there's been a number of things. So I started out as a community member after the integration. I was just hanging out in the calls, and there would be things that the community would need to get done, like maybe some how to on doing some things. So I would hop on those kind of tasks and get it done. They needed maybe the DAO needed some sort of video on how you can use the unlock JavaScript framework to do stuff. I would like go on and make that and show people how you could use that and different things like that. So I was pretty much a consistent community member helping out with different tasks in the DAO. And that kind of made me explore the protocol even more. So personally, I wanted to do that because when I discovered the Unlock protocol, I knew that I was going to use this to build out my own project. So that was a goal for me. So I wanted to learn more. So that's why I stuck around, wanted to be close to this protocol to understand. And by being there, I kind of got in this situation where stuff would come up that needed doing, and I would just get my hands on it to get my feet wet, and that's how I did some of those things. There was a time when the Unlock Protocol DAO had a grant from the Arbitrum DAO, and basically that was a pretty messy situation because the way the thing was, I might kind of get a little bit of the information a bit like disorganized right now, but basically the token was awarded to the DAO treasury, but then the Arbitrum, the way the system worked, it kind of made an alias address on Arbitrum for the DAO. And so it's more like the tokens are on L2, and then the DAO was on L1. Like I think the DAO was still on Ethereum mainnet then, or maybe on Base, but basically the tokens are on Arbitrum. The DAO is not on Arbitrum. The DAO is on a different network, and so you needed to figure out how to like get a proposal that would trigger a transaction to another network, get the tokens out and back. So I that was a really, really difficult one, but I took it on. I tried to reach out to people. No one had really had such a situation because for most people it was like multi-sigs. So it was a multi-sig wallet, which made sense. You could easily do the thing, but for like a DAO, which would require governance, voting, and then you would have to execute with a time lock. People didn't really have any experience with that, so I had to do a lot of research and work to eventually I figured it out, and we were able to get the DAO funds to the DAO treasury. That was one. There's a few more that I'm forgetting right now. So the PRs, the PRs tell the story, but there were. I used to be more like the guy that would go in and do the really crazy stuff that the DAO needed, the really out there type of tasks. And once in a while, things like that would come up. And so I would go do the research because it was never really straightforward. It was never something that had been done. Mostly you would like need to go do a lot of research and a lot of work to actually figure out a way to get it done. So that's pretty much how I built like credibility to eventually take on the role that I am in today, which is like the technology and innovation steward. Because after a number of years with that kind of track record, they needed someone to like fill in the role as the DAO became more decentralized. Like the team, the Unlock protocol, the Unlock Labs team eventually like became merged into the DAO, or like separated from being like a labs into the DAO. And so that became more relevant because before they had the Unlock Labs team that was doing a lot of the maintenance and stuff. And so the my position as the steward is not that long. I think it's maybe over a year now, a little over a year. So maybe sometime in late 2024, 2020, yeah, 2024, 2025. And yeah.
That's awesome. I love the like different things that you just jumped in and started doing. And I think that's the real powerful thing about these protocol toolings is that when you have the opportunity to just jump in and add value, people that are in leadership positions can see that and direct some of that energy towards things that need it. So I think that's really powerful. I would love to tap in if you want to share anything on your side, to share your screen on anything that you want to share that you've been working on with Unlock recently, and or any of the kind of unique things that you think could be fun for the Zabal games. I'll give a real quick share again for you and everyone else that's out there. So the Zabal Games is a 3 month long build-a-thon where the first month is workshops with a bunch of different mentors and workshop leads sharing different things that they've done, just like CC shared a little bit about Unlock Protocol. Month two was the open build month, the curated the open build month where anyone could build and submit any builds. And then here we're in August, where everyone who's submitted a build is part of the finals. We're going to be doing two challenges, one this week and one in the second week, and then picking the final two kind of head to head recipients for the last 2 weeks of the finals. And they're going to be going and duking it out, one in an artist battle, one in a builder battle, and one in a creator battle. So I think that'll be a real fun way to cap off the last of the 3 months with
Mhm.
the two best individuals who've been submitting. So one of the things we've created today is an Unlock Protocol collectible, which I shared in the chat here. We can definitely share it out with after if anyone else wants to grab it while we're here. But we're going to be doing different things like this throughout. So I'm going to be doing different live streams throughout the next few weeks, sharing different things about the Zabal games, and then hopefully sharing more of these unlock locks and playing around more with the tooling here. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'll give it over to you, Danny. I would love to hear more of what you kind of think we can rock out with Unlock.
Yeah, well, that is absolutely amazing what you've built and what you've got going on. Like being able to separate the three categories of creator is just amazing. You have the artists, the builders, and the creators. Because um yeah, that's really great. So with Unlock, you can do so many things just because of how much the smart contract is loaded with so many functionalities. So it just really depends on where you want to take it. So maybe I can share some of the things that I've built, and then that could inform some of the ways that you can use Unlock, because I think that they're a bit different. Some of the things. So let me see. Maybe I'm gonna find a way to share my screen. And the first thing I want to share is oh, getting getting okay. Yeah, it worked. So I was seeing like a little notification about sharing and stuff, but hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes, we're in. We can see.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is a platform called T-Rex, and T-Rex is an event ticketing platform basically, but it's meant for having tournaments and stuff. So it's still evolving into so many different things, but right now we have like it's basically for events. So we've been organizing tournaments, and it's more like a bridge to bring on people on chain, people that aren't normally like uh like the web3 native type people. So we've been organizing tournaments with this platform. So I'm just going to go to like explore to see some of the things we've been having. The chess masters tournament, which is like an online chess tournament, and a COD mobile one. This is one that's coming up in maybe 3 weeks from now. But basically, we've had a number of COD tournaments and chess tournaments go on. But what makes this really cool and interesting are the features that's built into it, which I'll touch on quickly with maybe with this one that's coming up. So we've got what we event protection, which is something that we built with Unlock. And basically, what that means is for people that are organizing events, you might have a situation where get enough turnouts, especially when you're doing things like games and tournaments, and you need people to at least show up for it to be battle royale. And if you have like maybe 5 or 10 people show up when you're having like when you're expecting a maybe a 20-man tournament, it really doesn't make sense. So you're doing a bracket like a knockout 16 round 16 bracket type tournament where each player has to pair up to have 8, and maybe you have like 11 people sign up, then that is a problem. So with the event protection, you basically set up a smart contract where if you specify a required minimum number of people that need to sign up for the event to hold, and if you don't get that minimum, then the event will be canceled and everyone will be automatically refunded their tokens back, basically what they paid for it. So this whole system is powered by Unlock Protocol. So basically, you put in a small amount of tokens in the contract to account for the gas, because Unlock charges like 1%. That's how the protocol makes revenue from paid um, tickets. And so, as an event organizer or creator, you basically have to, and you're using the protected event feature, you kind of like have to cover for the 1%. And so, if people, let's say 11 people, you needed 16 people to have that tournament, and 11 people kind of sign up, so it doesn't work after the deadline, so you have a window to refund and everything, you need to cover for the 1% that the protocol charges, so that the smart contract can refund all of the attendees their money back in full without like shorting anybody. So this contract allows you to do that. And another feature that we were able to build out with Unlock is one that I'll show now, which is a way that we automatically um, reward people that attend our tournaments. I think this should be this one. A like some sort of escrow where people get to for tournaments. So this was also an issue. You have people where you have situations rather where people feel like these events, they're not funded, or you're just kind of making promises to give the prizes that you're saying would be given for whatever events. And so this allows you to create a prize pool that anyone can see, that it's been funded with whatever token that you're funding the prize pool with. So for this, it's with like 75,000 GG, which was like a utility token created by PTE Inferno. So when that's done, you get to specify the positions and how much each is going to be able to claim from the prize pool. And then once the event is done, the organizers get to declare the winner, and then there's a window where people can dispute. So for this, it's set to 30 hours, which is the minimum. And if no one makes any dispute for the positions, then that's locked in and the winners can go on to claim the reward. So that's also a feature that was built with Unlock Protocol as well, allowing the players to be able to do these. So these are like some of the cool things in addition to like the whole ticketing system being powered by Unlock. Like obviously the tickets are NFTs, and so that kind of allows you to do like value added services beyond the event. So you can have people who participated in the first edition of the chess tournament have a discount for some other version or something like that, because the tickets are NFTs that stick to their wallets and stuff like that. So maybe if you have any questions so far about this, you can ask, but there's
No,
still a few more to share.
no, I love that. That's really cool. There's so many fun things that I can think of now. I love, yeah, I love it. I'm a big trading card game person myself. That's how I got into Web3, et cetera, et cetera. So I love tournaments. I love like the styling of it, and yeah, this is really cool. I'm gonna definitely play around with it. Yeah, you can definitely continue. I have
All right.
questions, but I'll say I'm just excited to see more.
Okay, yeah. So absolutely, that's really good too to hear that you came in through the gaming, the gaming world. I'm a big gamer myself. I love to game a lot. So the other thing that we created, which the other one I'd love to share would be let me switch over to this tab. So this is the P2E Inferno app, and it's more like a gamified educational and activation platform. So there's lots of different things that you can do here. The reward system is powered by Unlock. So we have like a smart contract called the DigiToken Vendor, which was a fork from my Build Guild days doing the speedrun Ethereum. So during the speedrun Ethereum, we have a task called the token vendor, and so I basically forked that challenge, and then I built out a progression and engagement mechanism called the vendor that allows people to like do a lot of things. But what I'm really excited to share about this, that in itself is a big unlock project that has so many features of Unlock in it. But what I'm really excited to share is the referrals part of the platform. So this is a smart contract that is powered by Unlock, and one of the cool features that Unlock protocol has, which is hooks. So this whole referral thing is an on-chain affiliate marketing platform or smart contract that is powered by Unlock Protocol. So this is like a multi-level affiliate marketing smart contract. It's actually capped at 3 levels. So it's not like an unlimited MLM type thing. But basically, this allows you to like drive sales for like your products or services. And so basically what this does is if you the creator or whoever is starting a campaign can specify the rewards for the different levels. So if you want to give away 10% to affiliates for your campaign, you can have the direct affiliates get like 5%, and then the second level can get like 3%, and the third level gets 2%. And so what happens is if someone gets in and makes a sale, then they get the commission if they don't have anyone that they've like recruited to be part of their campaign, then the remaining 5% goes straight to the campaign creator. So it's not lost. Like you're not paying for something that wasn't done. So you're not really giving away the 10%. But if the affiliate decides to recruit more people and gets people under their network to sell the product or service for you, then if it just gets like somebody in a second level, then if that person sells as well, then it gets the 3% commission. And sorry, that person becomes the direct seller. So that person gets the 5% commission, and the affiliate who recruited that person becomes the second level affiliate. So he gets the 3%. And at the end of the day, the creator who created the campaign does not lose more than the 10% that they allocated for affiliates at the end of the day. But this basically drives more sales, because if I were an affiliate and I knew that I could recruit people to be part of my team that could help drive more sales, and I would benefit from their sales and their network, then I would be more than happy to like get people to like help sell this product or service and get more money. So this is one other
That's
cool
really cool,
thing
and
that
that's
was
all
that I
on
did.
chain. The referral part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All on chain. Yeah, all on
Wow.
chain.
Okay,
All on chain.
that's very interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, so
Make you
that,
think.
yeah, that's a product that we're using to drive some of our products on like the P2E Inferno uh platform ecosystem. And
Yeah.
so yeah, those are
Here,
the
I'll
ones
toss
that
an
I wanted
idea
to
by
share.
you and get your thoughts on it. So one of our brands is Wave Wars. We do live traded music battles, and what we do is we have right now we do 11 spaces a week, five Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, five at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then our big battles on Sundays usually. And our 8:30 p.m. battles are quick battles, and we do song versus song. And the way it works is people can trade on either song during the song battle, and a portion of at the end of the song, once the songs end, the resolution, when there's a timer essentially, and when the timer ends, there's a
Mhm.
resolution, and a portion of the losing players liquidity pool goes to the winning players liquidity pool, and everyone splits it back out into Sol. We're using Solana as a smart contract level,
Okay.
but we've been playing around with this because we've been trying to support independent artists in different capacities. So we created this as a new vertical for musicians to get paid off of their music. So they take 1% of the volume and a portion of the resolution as well, and then we take 0.5%, and then 98.5% hits the chart. And we've been recently doing a an AI music tournament where we've had a bunch of our musicians battling head to head in it. So I think there's a couple fun use cases here, especially like bringing people
Mhm.
in where it could be very easy to actually tell if, okay, now this wallet that's connected to this wallet is now trading on Wave Wars in some capacity. So yeah, I think there's a lot of fun things we could do. And I'm curious to see
Yeah.
what if you have like if you think of, because like I think we should be doing them for our like the daily, like the fact that we have 11 a day, 11 a week. We should like be creating unlock collectibles for each event especially, and I think that could be a really fun like small like over time we can figure out how we want to play with that. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I'd love to like dive deeper into that, learn more, because that kind of informs like ideas that come through, the details and the way it works and all of those types of things. They'll definitely like light up parts of the brain that be, oh yeah, we could definitely do this. So that sounds really exciting, because I do have a music background. back in the day. I used to be a rapper, so I used to rap
Okay.
back
Well,
then
you have to definitely
before
pull
I
up.
got
You have to
into.
definitely pull up to a wave wars and start chatting more because I love this, especially the fact that like there's primitives on chain. The tooling there is so powerful for the future of whether you're an artist, builder, or creative, right? And all these things can be used by each one in a different perspective, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah. Do you want to share any other projects as well?
no, this should be all right
No,
now,
no, no,
so
that's
maybe
awesome.
I'll stop
No,
sharing.
no, that's awesome. I
Yeah, but
appreciate it. That's really interesting. I'm excited to just dive in more because, like I said, I love like the tournaments, the gaming, all that side of things. I haven't actually tapped into that much of the Web3 space recently because I've been trying to figure out how we can support artists. But I think now that with the tooling that's there with agentic coding, artists can
Mhm.
leverage their IP in different pieces of software, including games. So we've been building just
Mhm.
different open source tooling for musicians and other non-technical folks to use some of this. So the more and more we can do of that, the more conversations we can have like this, where we're brainstorming, sharing ideas of how people can use some of the protocolized tooling that's out there
Yeah.
that is just free pickings, free for anyone's using to try and leverage and get something out of it, whether that be a utility or a distribution point. So, Danny, it was amazing to have you on. Amazing to chat more about Unlock.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to share as we're getting going here? Anywhere where people can reach out to you, where people can catch you on socials?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Well, I just start by saying that obviously I hope that the applications that I showed were enough to show the different types of things that you can do with Unlock. Obviously, they're a bit different. You could see how you could be a creator and you could use that. One thing that I didn't mention on T-Rex is that it also integrates fiat payment. So right now, it's basically integrated with the region that I'm in, which is Nigeria. So the payment you can actually pay in Nigerian
Huh.
naira and get like your on chain like NFT get minted to your wallet. So it's not just like you having to like need
Use
to
crypto.
do this
That's
on
cool.
chain. You can actually have things built out that folks that want to pay with card can actually do that. So the way it works right now, people from anywhere in the world can maybe want to get into this tournament and they can pay with their card. So you don't necessarily even have to pay with Naira because the payment processor supports cards. So someone in Venezuela can pay with whatever currency that they have using their card. It it processes that to like the rates and get my pay for whatever it is.
Huh.
And so, like, this is something that you can do as a creator. Same thing goes for like the other types of features with the event protection and the rewards and also the referral thing. So there's just different areas that you can go with Unlock Protocol. So that's just the point that I was trying to make. But as far as like finding me, you can get me on X at Danny Toms, and I'm also available on you know all the some of the socials on Farcaster. I'm also Danny Toms on Instagram and TikTok. So, but my Telegram handle is different. It's Blackheart. So yeah, let me type that so maybe you can see that. I just noticed the private chat, so that I was looking for it before. I didn't see that, so that would be Telegram. So yeah, you can definitely reach out to me and talk more if this sparks any idea in your mind or anything that you want to like get chatting about.
Amazing, Danny. It was honestly great. I love it. I'm definitely thinking of a bunch of different ideas for different brands because that's the cool thing about protocols is, especially on chain, where it's like anyone that's in Web3 could use something that has good ticketing. I mean, we have an event coming up in October where it's free, but I also want to do some like VIP different levels of ticketing. So I think this could be a fun way to play around with that. So yeah,
Mhm.
thank you, Danny, for joining us, sharing a little bit more about what you've done with Unlock, sharing more about yourself, and it was a pleasure to have you on.
Absolutely.